Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. You're going to find us on social media. We're on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Casting Roles ILM. Our videos are uploaded on YouTube every Friday. But with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. All right, so ticket takers. After your traversal through the pleasure palace of Kefkan, the Jester Prince of the Cloud Giants, you had a meeting with the Jester in which he revealed his ultimate desire, probably to follow in the footsteps of Ahriman and become himself a god, to balance the order and chaos in the world. Not sitting well with Marlowe. Marlowe hid in the darkness and struck at Kefkan after most of you had left the room, or all of you had left the room. Dragging you all back into a fight in which you brought down the Jester Prince and his domos and gained access to the Library of Sypha, where you explored ancient texts on the formation of the gods, the possibility of potentially killing a god, what would be the easiest way to go about doing that, and we're presented with two very clear pathways or choices that could lead to an ultimate end to the threat of the Veil. Either allowing the Veil to win and in the moment of its victory striking at Caiaphas in his weakened state, or traveling to Caliga and Vidia yourself and removing the Veil's influence from the inside. You then spent the evening in the magnificent mansion of Abel Abioye and kind of explored the new setup that you had there. Had a long rest, so all of your temporary hit points are returned to normal, but you regain all your full health and spell slots and everything else. And so as you wake up the next morning, unceremoniously shunted from the space of the magnificent mansion and back into the Library of Sypha, ticket takers, what would you like to do?
There is one thing you left out, which was, I think it was a jury or Mar that enabled that did that. It might be possible for the battery to become the god.
Oh, yeah. There was a potential, a natural 20 from Marlowe that said ultimately that there may be a way with the help of a high-level mage like Lenaria Mistweaver to rework the spell of Ahriman to create a god of your own making, specifically potentially Saurus.
Oh yeah, I felt like there was a third thing we had considered.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is it, well, killing him or trying to rehabilitate him, right? Or making our own.
No,
Going
to the, we'd have to go into the Veil and go to the upside down version of Anarvir.
Mm-hmm.
Which would not be good. I mean, none of them are great.
Yeah,
so it would be super hard.
The balance was in one state you would have to allow the Veil to be victorious, but you would have the aid and assistance of your allies because you'd be on the prime material plane. Or you could go into the Shadowfell and you would be alone, but you wouldn't have to wait for the Veil to break through.
Right. Because the other option is let Caiaphas free, let him kill Bellinor, and in that exact moment kill Caiaphas.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's either get back gods or no more gods.
Yep. That's kind of where you're at. Is do you want a world where there are no gods, or do you want a world where you have one god at least, and maybe two?
Well, that's something for us to think about as we traverse along.
I know.
Yeah. I feel like Mar would have suggested we table that. for when we're not actively running towards the final button here.
Right. Yeah.
Button? Not a button.
Sigil?
Not a big red button.
What if they were just like the
Not
exclamation point buttons? You just have to jump on them, and it's Mario 64 logic.
That was a very Mario.
Well, they are giants, so it might be button size for them.
That's true.
Okay, so what are our options to reach our next goal?
Above ground or underground? Above ground, we risk running into more trap things and more beings. Underground tunnels, we don't know what those look like at all, but we'd be at least stealthier.
And you do know that the tunnels are slightly labyrinthine, so there is a potential of losing time by using those as well. Or they could cut time, it just depends. Yeah.
Right. Depends on how smart we are.
Yeah.
So potentially run into our enemies above ground, which we know are going to be on high alert, or sneak through the tunnels. We might get a bit lost, but we're capable enough to navigate, I believe. I say the tunnels.
I think we can be pretty stealthy. I'm good either way, but I'm not uncomfortable going on the surface.
I'm flexible on this one. I think we could go either way.
I'd say.
My only thought is this.
Yeah.
Do they know about the tunnel? Because if they don't, they're going to be looking for us on the surface and have like the defenses set up that way. We can sneak up behind them. If we do, then surface makes more sense.
I'm more
You
partial.
know about the tunnels?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have some pretty hard fights coming up, and our
I don't want
resources might be limited. So I'm more partial to go underground in hopes we can cut out some fights just in case.
I tend to agree with Jury on this one.
Yeah, now that I think about it, if it's a numbers game, the tunnel makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If we run into 40 people, we only have to fight 5 of them at a time in a tunnel.
Would Mother be able to tell us if she had run into any kind of like traps, like or what on the surface in the tunnels?
Oh, yeah. So Mother 1, talking about the tunnels and you directly asking, she could say that I explored the tunnels briefly. I kind of know the area around the castle and between the hatchery. So if we could get to there, I'm fairly familiar with those. And I have spent a lot of time disabling the traps that were present in that section of the tunnel. So that area would be kind of free movement. But between here and there, I'm a little not clear. But I do think that they probably have some of the traps. But they were less prevalent than they were on the surface. I think that they didn't expect people to use the tunnels as much.
Well, there's our answer.
Yeah.
Now there is a dragon that kind of has made parts of the tunnels their own, but there is a chance that while we were sleeping, one of the dragons was also sacrificed, and it could have been that one.
I think it's a chance we have to take.
If not, the dragon's mine.
Yeah. I mean, if we have to take out. Yeah,
we haven't been able to kill a dragon, really.
Well,
yet.
and if we
I'm kind of bitter about that.
You took out one, right?
But I mean, if we
took out Azazel,
another,
yeah.
If we take out another dragon, we are kind of putting him in a corner too.
Yeah, it leaves him with only one additional.
I think if we, I think if we have the chance to kill a dragon, we should kill a dragon. If it makes sense in the moment.
Absolutely.
I'm not stopping anyone from killing a dragon. If we got to, it's fine. But yeah, I
Make a necklace of dragon's teeth. I'm all for that. Yes.
You love to accessorize, don't you, Abel?
So as you guys
dragon's teeth necklace is extremely cool.
Let him goes hard. It goes hard.
So as you guys are getting ready to begin your day and make your choices, with many things playing out around you, I do need a luck check, and I know it doesn't matter who rolls it.
Ronnie, it's your birthday. You gotta roll it.
It's
birthday,
birthday.
boy.
Birthday luck
roll.
check.
Birthday luck
If you roll
check.
bad, we'll hate you, and it won't be your birthday anymore.
We'll never celebrate your birthday again. Okay. Big money. No whammies. Okay. Just a regular D20.
Yes,
Nothing.
and just let me know if
about
it's just whatever the number is. Mhm.
Oh, a 19.
That's pretty good.
Ooh.
That's pretty lucky.
Yay!
Because I just turned 19, so
You told somebody today that you turned 17.
I did, and I thought about it, and I was like, that means that I've implicated my long-term boyfriend as a pedophile. So I stopped making that joke.
Yeah, thank you. That's good.
There are consequences.
There are consequences to my actions.
Yeah.
Well, John is only 15, so really you're the problem.
I'm 50. I am not younger than Ronnie.
These are the most bearded teenagers I've ever seen in my life.
It's all the hormones in the chicken.
That's true.
So some CW teenagers.
Degrassi
Exactly.
genes.
It's like this is the
Fluoridating
OC.
the water of the communist plot.
Jeez.
All right. But the space is in front of you if you'd like to go towards.
Where's our closest tunnel entrance?
So what the readings or what you learned is that there's an entrance around each of the major zones. So there's an entrance somewhere around Sypha's tower. You don't exactly know where it is, so you'd have to do a little bit of investigation.
Would Silver? Is that the bug's name?
Silver?
Silver? Yeah. Would Silver have any insight into this?
Well, I don't think that there was a book about it, but I think that this might be notes that Sypha would have included in her own personal notebook and spell book.
Do you have? Oh, wait. Abel will grab that, right?
Abel has it.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm gonna
I
swap
thought
the
Jerry grabbed
spells
it.
around.
Let's look through the book and see if we.
Well, remember, it's like it's a parchment and it is blank and it's like stretched over a leather surface. You have not quite figured out how to use it yet, but you can try to figure that out.
Did we have to write on it and it would respond or something?
When you did write on it, the ink disappeared and there was like a returned message.
Okay, all right. So we'll write the question. What is the location of the underground entrance near the
The Tower of Storms.
near the Tower of Storms. I'll write that out
All right.
on the parchment.
So you write that out and you don't get a message back. You get a like zoomed in map of this area of the world of the city. And you see kind of like a representation of Sypha's tower and like the staircase that was at the front of it that you came down. And it seems that there is an entrance under the stairs in some place or way. It's like a top-down view, but the entrance seems to be at the base of the stairs, like in the middle between the two.
Can I go investigate the stairs?
Yeah, so you head outside. First thing you see, Marlo, go ahead and make a perception check for me as you pop out of the tower and because the tower entrance is up like 30 or 40 feet above street level, so you've got kind of a good view of the city from up here.
22.
22.
Ooh.
So the first thing you notice is there was around the castle, around Thoradin's castle, there was a ever-present storm brewing, which was the effect of one of the dragons making that its roost. You're seeing that is still present.
Okay.
However, you are seeing that a beam of energy coming from the center of the city that was very much like the last time you saw a dragon killed in the ceremony. So you get the impression that another dragon has been killed, which means that only one is left or remaining for the ceremony to be complete. but it wasn't the dragon that was at Thoradin's castle.
By process of
Elimination,
which
that
Yeah,
leaves
sorry.
either the black dragon that he picked up at the Vanishing Isles or
right.
the tunnel dragon.
Okay. Promising. Hopefully, it was tunnel dragon.
Hopefully.
All right, so then you make your way down
If I hold a good look check, it might be the tunnel dragon.
So you made your way down the stairs, and with your investigation check, you find a underneath the stairs there is a grate with bars, slightly like built into the space. There's no mechanism that you can see that unlocks this, but you can go ahead and investigate the grate. You think that this is probably the entrance to the underground tunnels.
Okay. That is a 19.
19. With that, there's no mundane lock or mechanism to unlock these grates, but your training in enough of the arcane arts to be a blood hunter lets you know that there is some kind of magical element to this. It would probably require an arcane user of some kind to decipher or unlock the mechanism.
I point at it and go, magic people. Attack.
Make it with the magic.
All right, we will look at the thing.
Okay, Abel and Jury can make Arcana checks.
All right, I'll help.
Okay.
I'll help Abel since he has a
Would I-
better, yeah,
Sure.
a better Arcana than me, I think.
Straight Arcana. Okay, that's
But you could roll.
You
You
roll
can roll
with
with
advantage.
advantage.
Yes.
with advantage. Okay.
Jury's over your shoulder.
That one wasn't great, so. Oh, 18 plus, I think it's plus 11.
Nice.
Yeah, plus 11.
Okay, so
So
29.
29.
All right, so you kind of explore the magical essence coming off of this. And Marlo, you're still keyed in with your perception check to the area around you. You do get the sense that you can hear the movement of troops like down the road that are coming up this way. You guys have probably like 15 seconds or so before they're going to breast the hill and see you here in front of the space. Abel, there is a fairly high level Jotun runic lock on this that is specifically designed not to be broken by arcane lock. You can, however, use the knowledge that you had to break the sigils to break the lock, but it is a fairly high DC. So, but 16 seconds, you have 2 attempts at it before these enemies will spot you.
Can I use my tools to help me break the lock?
Yeah, it's the same roll that you had before, so it'd be a tool check plus proficiency.
And
Is there
I'll give
any way-
you. I'll give you inspiration.
Is there
Thank
any way
you.
for someone to assist and give him advantage, or is this kind of
My
a legal
inspiration
solo
will
moment?
give him advantage.
Yeah, the inspiration
so
will give advantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's why. It's
And I will
great.
let you know what you need to roll is a 25.
Okay. I'll roll this in D&D Beyond.
So if you want to roll the inspiration first, so then you know what you need to add to that
Well-
to get to 25.
I roll a 29 with advantage.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Nice.
So there's a
It's
moment
sort of like anticlimactic. 29 with
as
advantage.
Jury is like playing their dulcimer very quietly.
It's like it's like come on, hurry up and do this, please.
And you hear the troops getting closer.
Frantic but quiet.
You watch as like Abel like reaches into the etheric space there, and it's almost like the runes begin to take shape, and you can just see him with the God created tool that he has here, manipulating and moving these pieces until it's almost like watching something untangle and then release. And you watch as the grates sink into the ground, and there is now an open tunnel before you that descends into darkness.
Krakoa jumps in.
Okay, Krakoa jumps in and quickly discovers that the grade on this is like a slide. So you watch as the Krakoa hits and then falls to his back and then just disappears out of sight, kind of going around a corner down into the space.
He
Jumping
spins around
behind him.
because this is just like
Oh, what was that, Rob?
body surfing.
Body surfing. Okay, yes. Everyone else following through?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll follow through and
Can
close it
I
after
try
us.
to? Oh, I was gonna say though.
You try to close it after you.
You both one hand on each side and close it.
So, once you get into the space, it will require Abel to be inside the grate and reactivate the rune. So he'll need to hold that space and be the last one through.
Oh, okay.
Can I try to like? I don't know how wide it is, but can I try to like spider this and then like help him like stay up
Yeah,
so that
sure.
way like he isn't having to like make a strength check and
Yeah.
also make this
Sure.
arcana check?
The easiest way probably just use your boots and hold him up. So everyone
Right.
else slides down and Marlo kind of
I knew
flies in and holds Abel's back so Abel doesn't fall down. Abel, go ahead and make another tool check to reactivate the rune.
Just suffering. Carefully. Ooh, a 34 to reactivate.
34. So as everyone else slides off into darkness, Abel and Marlo taking a moment here, and you watch as the tangled web of the rune retakes form and the grate lifts up again, and there's a sheen of energy that spreads across it, just in time to hear the approaching clawed feet of draconids on the cobblestones slowly begin to make their way across in this space out of sight.
Nice.
And then you all,
Thank you, Marlo.
yes, there you go. And then you all
No.
disappear down into darkness. So with that in mind, Kaimana Kakoa Jury, you all arrive down at the bottom a little bit before the other two. And you are in a dark chamber. All of you have dark vision, I believe. So you can kind of see this. There's no light here. Your vision goes out about 60 feet. Everything is gray, and it's carefully carved rock walls. Every few spaces, there are unlit torches that are not activating. So probably the magical essence of this space has either been not activated or is defunct in some way. But you kind of drop down into the center of this tunnel. There is a path that goes either way to your left or right. And then there is a forking path before you, one that kind of veers off in the direction of the castle, and one that seems to be veering off in the direction of the center of town.
Ask Mother what she thinks.
The thing about the tunnels, they kind of all look the same, but I never made it this far over. But I mean, that direction is the direction towards the castle, which is where I'm most familiar.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should just kind of go on what we think is right. Maybe we can mark our path with something.
About that moment, Marlo and Abel drop down into the chamber.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Can I do my survival to try to navigate us through this first part?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a survival check.
I would like to help.
Are you all moving? What kind of pace are you taking as you're moving through this place?
Pass without a trace is up.
Okay, so you're all moving a slow pace, a slow and steady pace.
Do we think
Sneaking.
we need to be slow? I mean, we're underground.
If we're
asked
keeping
Mother
active
what kind of-
perception up,
Oh, hold on. Go ahead, Marlo, and then we'll go to Kakoa. Yeah.
I was just saying that I think if we keep active perception up for traps, then that's more important than us stealthing at this point.
Yeah, and I'll just say the speed perception checks would be at not disadvantage if you're moving normally, with advantage if you're moving at stealth pace, because that's half speed. and then if you wanted to run, your perception checks would be at disadvantage. So it's kind of covering more ground means that you are more likely to stumble across a trap without catching it. So it's up to
I'm
you.
gonna walk at a
Normal.
regular pace, Josh, but what I am gonna do is I'm going to take my fishing pole out and hang a plumb bob from it and have it dangle in front of me so it'll hit a tripwire before I do.
Okay. Kakao, what were you saying?
I was going to ask what kind of traps she ran into when she was down here. So what do we need to look for?
Well, they're runes that then activate some kind of a trap. They're difficult to see in the dark. When you're up on the city, you can see them a little better because they have a slight color difference. But down here, unless we want to produce some kind of light, everything's kind of gray.
They're runes, you said?
But yeah.
Yeah, like the surface ones.
I put my fishing pole away.
Yeah, I figured that's what it was. I was like, I don't think it's
And
gonna help.
it reminds you all
Yeah.
of the trap that you met when you were first traversing the city. Yeah.
So I'm thinking
Yeah,
we
we ran into like
should
2.
we should normal pace, and I can dancing lights the whole time.
Okay,
I
that
think so.
that would give Marlo a better chance of that would lower the DC of spotting the runes because Marlo is familiar
Yeah.
with the runes. Yeah.
Because part of us going underground is we want to go faster than we would above ground. So we're trying to like speed.
All right.
That's my thought process, at least.
Good. So with your first survival check, Marlo, for the first bit of the journey, we'll say that to get to the castle will be 3 checks.
Full transparency, I definitely rolled that before, and I'm looking at my dice now, and I have no idea, so I'm going to.
Yeah, you can reroll. That's fine. Yeah, Rob.
Sorry.
Kakao is going to use his perception not for traps, but to see if he hears anything like any body
Okay.
or any machinery or anything like that. So,
Do you want me to roll it for you?
yes, please.
Okay. That is a 17 for Kakao.
I've got a 24.
24.
Survival.
Okay. So as you are kind of going through this area, you take the V cutoff that seems to be heading towards the castle, and there's a lot of switchbacks and turns. There's small little like cutoffs that seem to be spidering through the tunnel that you would have to like turn to the sideways and shimmy through, but you guys are following the main path. As you get to the end of this first break, you arrive at a chamber that has a crossroads where 5 directions are all coming together at once. You've had weird switchbacks and things, but Marlo's able to kind of maintain direction with the 24. And you think that there is 2 potential paths that you could take. One seems to be pointed slightly to the south of the castle, and the other one seems to be pointed slightly to the north of where the castle is. On a 24, you do spot at the center of this chamber, one of those runes is in like the very center pedestal, or the very center cobblestone piece. So you will need to very carefully skirt around the room to avoid it.
Okay. I put that out to everyone. And I kind of explain the two roads here.
2 roads diverged in a cavern.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid it.
Yes, sweet.
Does one of them look more traveled than others? Just now, since we went there.
No, so what you are noticing in the dim, you have dancing lights. What you're noticing in the lights here is that this area seems to have not been used at all by the Draconids. So the last time anybody walked down here was probably 200 years ago.
So we are on the road less traveled.
Yep.
Well, what I was thinking is,
No, in the Robert Frost poem, that's the bad thing. Everyone gets it wrong.
That's
the
true.
bad one. He regrets it.
He should have taken the
well,
It's misquoted
Well,
egregiously. I'm sorry. I feel so strongly about this.
no. Because what I was wondering is, it's not necessarily about the Draconids, but way back when, the more likely path would be between the major points. So between the castle if one was more worn than others, that was probably the way we would want to go.
Yeah, it's very difficult to tell with the amount of just dust and overlay in 250 years to see which path is more well-traveled.
Josh.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking logically about where this building is from what I know about it on the map, is it facing the south? Like, would the front entrance in theory be at the south
of the hatchery?
Yes.
The way that Yara drew it on the map, it seems that the entry of the hatchery was kind of facing south. However, what you saw from the castle, from the hatchery, not from the hatchery because you haven't seen that, from the castle and from Sypha's tower, is that their entrances actually faced towards the center of the city.
Okay.
So
and
it would be
center
more
would be...
like, instead of facing south, it would be more southeast.
Okay. Then do we want to go in the front entrance, or do we want to scout for a side back entrance? / doesn't matter at this point if we're just trying to get a time limit here.
I think time is whichever's faster.
Front.
Okay.
Done, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So south.
Okay, so you go towards the second entrance, which will take you to the north of the castle, but to the south, you think, of the hatchery.
Right.
And you carefully avoid the rune at the center. Go ahead and make another survival check, Marla.
With help, right? No?
If anybody wants to
Yeah.
help, they can. Yep.
Right? Kaimana said that
Yeah, come on, is helping out.
he was helping
Kaimana
me.
was helping.
Right?
And then Kakoa, I'll make another perception check for Kakoa. Oh,
25.
I dropped that dice, so I'm re-rolling it. That's a 19 for Kakoa. 25, you said? Okay. All right. So you make your way through, and it seems like you are passing, kind of skirting by like a major thoroughfare of these tunnels. You can tell, like, every time you come across openings, there's like one larger tunnel that's heading north. And then as you keep moving, it's like heading slightly northeast. And you get the impression those might be heading towards the center of the city, but you pass by those and you maintain this direction towards, bless you, towards the castle area. You do get to a space, Marlo, where the tunnel that you've chosen to follow, you spot a rune, and it's right above you in the center of the tunnel. The closest turn off was about half a mile back the other direction.
Oh boy. Okay. Josh, in the past, when we've set off these traps, does it seem like you could set it off and then there's like a recharge period? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what happened when you set off the poison cloud one is that rune was spent. So
Okay.
It's kind of, think about like a pod that releases and then it didn't recharge immediately. Like you didn't see it recharge. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So in theory, we could try to throw something forward, set this off, and see if we can wait it out.
Yeah, you can try that. Yeah.
Does anyone have a better idea?
Nope, I don't want to walk half a mile
I'll
back.
take a moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Well, go ahead. We'll see.
No. What do you have in mind?
I mean, I did create the intangibility spell,
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
but DM, how would that work with like?
With
Like,
the
you would-
runes. So the runes are activated by the presence of a creature. You think like the poison cloud, part of that damage came from inhaling the poison, but the other, most of the damage came from the acid rain that came afterwards. And if you were intangible, then that acid rain would have no impact on you. But that's only one. I mean, can't imagine that all the traps are exactly the same. But in that instance, like you would be able to avoid a majority of the damage of a poison cloud, for instance.
How do we
Do
feel?
you want to try that?
We can. Let me see. I don't think we put that spell on my spell
I don't
list.
think so, but you can go ahead and just, it's second, was it second level? You can just hit a second level spell. You've got the little thing. You can mark off a second level spell slot. Who are you casting on yourself or are you casting on someone else?
How many people can I cast? Is it just one person?
It's one, but if you
You
upgrade to a third level spell
upcast
slot, you
it.
can upcast it to 2.
So you can target an additional. Yeah. Who wants to test my new intangibility spell?
I take a step further from Abel.
Oh, come on.
Kaimana is very interested. Kaimana volunteers.
I volunteer
Okay.
as tribute.
Come on in the cacao.
Kaimana and Kako are fighting each other. They both want to.
Okay, all right. We'll do the both of you, and I will touch them and cast intangibility.
Okay.
So basically, you'll be able to walk through.
Yep, for the next hour.
Like you.
Mhm. Until you take some form of
I
action,
can't
I believe.
feel myself.
Yeah. You all watch as the spell releases, and Kaimana and Kakoa are still there, but it's like seeing someone's reflection. Like you're looking through a window, and you can see the reflection of a person who's standing behind you. So you see the full person, but you can also see what's behind them in the window. So you can see
There we
Kaimana and Kakoa, but you can also see the rock wall partially behind them. They're slightly translucent.
What happens when I stand in jury?
You pass through
Ew.
jury, but there is a check. Go ahead.
Ew,
What's the
God,
saving
stop
throw,
standing in
Kaimana? Or what's the saving throw, Abel?
Oh man, we had decided that was gonna be.
Is it a constitution or is it?
I think it was a con. Yeah.
Yeah, make a constitution saving throw, Kaimana.
What if you explode? What if you
Why-
explode,
Jerry's just like, why is this your first instinct? Get away from me.
Is it Constitution
Meanwhile,
saving?
Yes,
Sitting
constitution
down
saving
the
throw.
hallway.
Kakoa made your way down the hallway.
That would be an 8.
Okay.
Oh my
So
God.
what happens when they fail
My
the
flash of
constitution throw,
genius.
Abel? Will that take him above your DC?
Yeah, it will.
What's the DC?
Yeah, oh fudge.
Isn't it yours DC?
Is it my DC?
I think so.
I-
Or is it
my
was
save-
it a 16?
I think you said like a static. Didn't you say? I don't remember. I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't have the book. I wrote it
I think
in.
it was a static 15. So I don't know if your Flash of Genius will take Kaimana there. Well, Kaimana, you get shunted
like
out of
this
Jury's space, and you do take 6 points of force damage as like you are unable to maintain the intangibility long enough to pass through Jury, and you get thrown to the side, and like the spell reverberates on you.
It made my knees feel weird.
Yeah, but So the Kakoa, do you make your way down the hallway towards the rune?
Yep.
Okay, Marlo, because Kakoa can't roll, go ahead and roll a d8 for me, please.
Okay.
He is doing this somewhat cautiously. He's not stupid.
Okay, so just in the sense of knowing where everybody is, the rune is about 20 feet away from where you all were standing, because that's kind of how close you needed to be to spot it. Once you knew it was there, Jury said that they took a step back. What was
I
everyone
was
else's?
the furthest back from all this.
What was
shit
everyone
happening.
else's placement?
Back us, I mean, I would back us up like
I was
60
going to
feet.
be starting to
60
back
feet?
up
Like
a little bit.
Okay, so everyone backs up
if
60
this
feet.
is a range thing, I mean, I think that's about the biggest it might be.
Okay. So everybody backed up 60 feet. Kakoa went forward. Kakoa, the rune activates, and all of you watch as the Kakoa, slightly translucent, makes his way to the very edge of your kind of the vision from the dancing lights, and then entering into like the dim light beyond it. And you all see as like he steps on the rune and the rune glows for a moment. And then suddenly this bead of energy shoots up out of the rune right to your eye level, Kokoa. And you just see an implosion and then an explosion as a fireball goes off, spreading out 30 feet down the tunnel.
Nice.
But then kind of you feel the heat like blast down the tunnel as the wind blows your hair back, but you are out of the range of the fireball as it goes off. Kokoa takes no damage because he is intangible. However, you do need to make a Constitution saving throw, Kokoa.
Do we need to roll it for him?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Also,
Oh, that was a natural 20. I'm rolling really well for Kokoa. I rolled a 17, an 18, and a 20.
I see the fireball and I'm like, reminds me of last night. Wow.
I was Abel, and Abel literally laughed at you. So,
So Kokoa, you maintain intangibility because the way the intangibility spell works is when you take an action, you lose the spell. But anytime something attacks you, there's the chance that you like lose the intangibility. But you do maintain it. All right.
I feel so funky.
Yeah, you didn't even feel the heat from the fire. It just kind of the bright light washed over you, but no heat.
Is the rune still glowing?
Nope, the rune dimmed and now just looks like a carved piece of stone.
I
I think we're okay now.
All right. So last leg of the journey to get you to the area of the map that Mother is most familiar with. Make another survival check, Marlo.
Imana, do you need to get healed? How badly did you get hurt?
It's
Was it
fine.
bad?
I'm fine. I just a little, like
Just
shaken
6.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we get in hearing range of anything, go and blows
20.
the horn to give everybody 15 temporary hit points.
Okay, everybody can
Ooh,
boost
okay.
to 15 temporary hit points. Let me add
I'll
those
take
to
that.
Mother.
Mother.
Not 150.
Yeah,
I was like,
150.
why
Josh.
is Mother's
Why not?
hit points at 279? What is
I think
happening?
it's great.
Okay.
Unkillable
Absolute
mother.
unit.
Right? That's right.
She does have the most hit points of anybody in the party, though, I think. So, all right.
Really?
Well, she's a cleric. So beefy. All right. What was your survival check, Marlo?
20.
Oh, 20. Okay. So as you're making your way down, you get to another section where there's a split off, and maintaining your trajectory where to kind of go to that area that you think is slightly north of the castle, so that space between the castle and the hatchery. You begin to make your way down the tunnel, and the tunnel here begins to dip a little bit, and then you get to a space where it appears as if something like just ate through the middle of this tunnel, and you come to where there's a circular, much larger, like 15 foot across tunnel that's carving through this space. And then you can see that the tunnel that you're in continues off to the other side. You get the impression that this might be one of the places where Quillian was tunneling through the mountain. But you can make your way through. What's the marching order as we head through the last area? Marlo's in the front. Who's after Marlo?
I
I'm
don't hear
helping.
anything.
Abel, I mean, not Abel, but
No,
Quiet.
Kokoa, you don't hear any sound of movement.
I'm helping Marlo with the survival.
So
checks.
Marlo, Kaimana, followed by
Probably TK.
TK, then Abel and Jury bringing up the rear.
Yup, I'm in
Cool.
the back. Fuck
All right.
that.
I'm in the back. So Marlo, it is with a
There's
20.
Mother in the middle.
Yeah, Mother's in the middle. With a 20, it is unfortunate that you have to go down into Quillian's tunnel and then climb back up into the main tunnel, because it is when you like grab and lift up that you look down and you see a rune light in your face.
Oh,
I need you to roll it. I need you to roll a d8 for me.
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
spicy rune.
Yeah, 23 is the DC on those, and you
the poet's still
2.
intangible, right?
a 2. Okay.
Yeah, and
So Kokoa is intangible. what happens, Marlo, is as the rune lights up, you suddenly hear just like a sound of like stones scraping against stone on either side of the main tunnel you're in, as just like the stone on either side just punches in and then seems to disappear as two large spouts open up on either side of the tunnel entrance here, and as some kind of caustic liquid begins to flood into this tunnel, spilling over you and down into Quillian's tunnel. You don't.
No, I got slimed.
Yeah,
No.
you don't get to avoid it because it's in your face. Kakoa is okay, but I do need Kakoa's Constitution save. Kakoa will be saved here, but intangibility will fade after this. But the closest, so Mother will. Oh, sorry, Kaimana.
Kaimana is also intangible.
So Kaimana also intangible. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, Kaimana.
That's a 10.
Okay, so your intangibility will fade as well after this. So you have, but you will avoid the damage here. But for Abel, Jury, and Mother, you all can make Constitution saving throws. Oh no, sorry. For this one, it's yes, Constitution saving throws.
A con save, advantage to maintain concentration.
You're not maintaining concentration.
I know.
Oh, I got a 19.
Okay, I'm right behind you with an 18.
Nice. So both of you manage to, like, the flood of this liquid pours. You see it pour over Mar, passes through Kakoa and Kaimana. Mother kind of braces herself and pushes into it, and you see this flare of energy from herself that's protecting her from a lot of the damage. You two, it hits you, and the moment you begin to feel the burn, you kind of use the strength of your will to pull yourself up out of it and take a step back onto some stone that's raised up, and the poisonous liquid doesn't seem to penetrate your skin as much as it would otherwise. So Marlo, you take 24 points of poison damage as this flood of poison washes into your face. Kakoa and Kaimana, you avoid it, but intangibility fades. Jury and Abel and Mother, you take 12 points of poison damage.
Nice.
Josh.
Yes, and
Would
thankfully
this poison
Quillian's tunnel is here, because instead of flooding this tunnel, it has a release valve, so it follows Quillian's path.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would this liquid be considered like acidic in any way?
Yes, I mean it's kind of an acid. It's an acidic poison.
So would you say my denim jacket just got a little acid wash?
It did just get a little acid wash.
Dang. Why are you still wearing that?
Yeah, you're.
No, I think it's funny. It's
All right. Yeah. So Mar looks like they've had a facial and are now wearing an acid wash denim jacket. And you just like turn around and you're just like dripping with this like caustic liquid.
I just got a chemical peel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 hit points worth.
I wiped myself off.
Oh, Mother took
Is the
12
acid
points.
still on them? Do we have to like? Do we have to like press to the station like any?
Yeah, it was poison.
It
It
was a
wanted to
poisonous liquid, but I gave it for flavor so that we could acid wash some jeans. All right.
Yeah, I just I cleaned myself up.
Sounds good. All right. But thanks to Quillian's digging, instead of flooding the chamber, it gets washed away, so you guys aren't having to swim through it. So it could have been worse. But you pick yourselves up, dry yourselves off, and make your way further down to a point where Mother finally kind of looks, and she points at a symbol on the wall, and you see like a little rat handprint, like she dipped her hand in paint and hit the wall, at the very corner of another intersection. And she said, this is one of the places I explored. I didn't come down this tunnel. That's what the symbol means. But this main tunnel I've explored here.
Excellent.
That's the way we need to go.
I think between here and about halfway through the hatchery, I've disabled as many of the runes as I could discover. So I think we're probably safe through there. But there's a point, but I know where the hatchery exit is. I just wasn't able to break all the runes.
So for the most part, we can travel at increased speed.
You can run until
not-
you see a red handprint, because a red handprint marks the furthest place that I've extended my exploration.
Awesome. That's what we're freaking doing.
Okay. All right. So to spot the red handprint, Marlo, go ahead and make, instead of a survival check here, because you have Mother's guidance, you can make a perception check.
You get it, but mother kind of knows where you went.
Yeah, you can roll with advantage, Marlo. Mm-hmm. And just because Marlo's leading the pack, I'm having Marlo roll the perception. Mm-hmm.
That's fine with me.
I'd say so.
With Mother
That
guiding you.
Is a 19.
A 19. Okay. So you can book it according to Mother's. So you can run if you'd like to for this leg of the journey and cut some time.
I'd
Let's
say
go.
let's make up time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you take off
Cardio.
running, and so with that in mind, and because you chose to go towards the path that Mother knew, you, instead of having to make like 5 or 6 more survival checks, you cut that down to where now we're down to the last single survival check. So you make your way to a point between the castle and the hatchery. You see a red handprint on the wall. And Mother kind of immediately stops all of you and says, from here forward, I know that this path here leads to the hatchery, but this was as far as I was able to disable the runes. So that'll be a final survival check from Marlo. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Did we do your, and Jury, go ahead and roll a D10. We didn't do your wild.
Oh, we
magic.
did. We did it at the very end of last session.
What was our...
It's only 3rd level spells and higher.
Oh, so you were inert. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yep, I was inert.
Yeah.
I after that fucking fireball, it tapped me out, honestly.
You were
we
done
were
with
laughing.
chaos.
We were laughing about that.
24. Give me that room.
Oh my God, let's
That's good,
go.
because that, you're hitting the DC. You make your way through, and you get to a final kind of weird interchange where you're like at a place where 3 pathways meet. But when you look down slightly to one of the pathways, there's 3 pathways that meet there. And then it seems like this is a hub zone. And the path that you need to go down has a rune on it. But based on the way the hub is designed, you think that there's crosses. So you take 5 minutes extra time, which you gained more than that being able to run, and you circle around so you can avoid the rune, and you get to another central hallway space, and you see like just above you a ladder about halfway hanging down into this chamber, and there's a grate at the top point, and you think that this is probably the exit towards the hatchery. So
We
Abel will
send
need to
someone
go
up
first if he wants to activate the grate.
Did you say there was a rune that was just a great rune? Not like a...
The great
Yeah.
rune.
You guys were able to avoid the trap rune.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I was paying attention.
There's
got it.
the word rune is popping up a
There are
lot. It's
runes.
fine.
A lot of ruins.
A 22.
A 22. So you get
I'm
up to the
tinkering
top
with my tools.
and you're tinkering with it. You are unable to break this rune, but thankfully there's no time, no time crunch on here, so you can make another attempt.
Do you
I
want
call,
inspiration, buddy?
I called Jury up to take a look. Maybe I missed
Okay.
something while I was...
You can do it with help if you don't want to waste the inspiration.
Okay, I'll just help
Oh,
you
yes,
with my
so
arcane
So
knowledge.
you have advantage, but no inspiration die.
All right. So I use the Everspark to create my little tools again, and with advantage, hurl 2 12s, a 28.
28 is enough. So
And
you,
Jury goes,
So-
if you turn it to the right, you have to turn it that way.
yeah. So that's enough. The rune untangles and the grate drops down. And it's another like kind of half little circle in the side of a space, just like at the other end. And you can see before you, there's a plaza that kind of spreads out, and you find that you are on the opposite side of the city. The tower off in the distance, that floating central square where Ahriman seems to be pulling all the energy of the city, is floating between you and it. So you have flipped the other side of the city, and you've made your way to what you think, based off of trajectory, seems to be the hatchery.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
here we go.
All right. So
Cool.
y'all,
Let's go. Let's go.
all right. So
Let's call
y'all
Marlo.
put,
We want to do like a perception check, make sure there's nothing
if Marlo wants
in the
to.
area as we.
You're first up if you
I-
want to do it, or you can back down and let Marlo do it.
No, I'll let Marlo.
Okay, so you let Marlo go.
Yes.
Mar, please.
That is that is. Oh yeah, baby. 24.
24. So what the good thing about going through the city underground is that the last known location of your group was at the tower. And so from this distance, you can see that there are several like wyvern flights over on that side of the city. Like they are scanning and searching for you over there. You are probably 100% certain that Ahriman is aware of what you're doing, because breaking the sigils would be lowering the magical essence that he is channeling. So he knows what you're doing. Right now, they're looking for you at the tower. You know they're going to be coming here because it's the only sigil that's left. But right now, you've bypassed a lot of that by taking the underground space. So getting into the hatchery
We
quickly
just had to fight
would
our way the
avoid
entire.
the draconids.
Yeah,
Let's
the entire trip would have been.
Let's
Fight
fucking
tooth and
go,
nail.
Okay.
underground
That was
gambit.
sick. Oh, we killed it, guys.
That was.
And I will say, just because it doesn't ruin anything, the luck check means that Quillian was the dragon that was killed, because
Aw, rip Quillian.
if that luck check hadn't been there, that moment
We would've had
before
to
that
fight
rune was where you would have encountered Quillian.
Yeah.
Right.
That birthday luck.
Birthday luck.
And a burrowing dragon.
I just lock eyes with him into the room. Just slowly
Incredible.
like lower myself back down.
You didn't see anything.
Bye. All right.
We should run now.
All right. So you all pull yourself up into this kind of central courtyard, and behind you there is a large staircase that spirals up onto the side of a hill. And on the hill, you've seen the Tower of the Temple of the Nine in Alyria. This is a very similar construction, a large circular structure that's surrounded by 9 smaller towers. However, unlike the one in Alyria, this one has lava pouring out of portions of it, as Belphegor, the fire drake, has made this his lair. And seems to be one of the dragons that is still alive. And so but you can see the front entrance of the tower here before you. And it seems like, just like the castle entrance, the front door here is slightly off hinge. And there's like a crack in the main doorway. So it's not like the front entrance is barred to you.
So just like real quick.
Yeah.
Then there's lava
Yes.
on this island floating in the sky.
Yes.
I could only assume this was like a decision by the dragon, who was like, I'm not interested if there's no lava in my lair. Like,
Yeah.
You've been to Myrtle Beach.
It's very
in
much a-
Vegas.
yeah.
It's just like on the backside of this cloud city, there's just a dripping like into the ocean, like thousands of feet below.
But he said it's flowing, so it's like, in my head, the logistics of that mean he has a pump
Yeah, sure.
that is like constantly
Exactly.
heating the lava and like recycling it.
It's like
Very
an
much an
aquarium
aesthetic choice.
setup.
yeah,
Wow.
like a koi pond, you know.
Sure. The magic of dragons.
It inspired elementals. It's fire elementals and earth elementals
Very-
in conjunction.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
All right, but the main entrance is open to you if you want to approach and go through.
Are
Or
we
if you
ready
want
for
to
this?
search for a side entrance, you're more than welcome to do that as well.
We
I
should
think that's the type of subtlety
What's
it's
this
at.
front door? We came all the way here.
I'll knock.
They know
The
we're
door
here.
is kind of like
that's-
off the hinges. So
Oh,
Sorry,
these
I'm-
two large stone doors, and there's a crack between them where like one is kind of swung forward a little bit. There's a path to get into the main
Okay,
temple.
who's leading?
I'm leading.
Kaimana? Okay.
I'm gonna cast protection against fire on you
Okay.
with my thingamabob. So
Thank you.
I
I'm
feel
still
like
gonna
that's
knock
it.
on the stone, be like, hello?
Oh
There's
my
no
God.
answer.
Okay.
Why?
It pays to be polite, Marlo.
Oh man, I'm so scared.
No sound from inside.
All right, go inside.
Okay. So Karmana first through, you kind of make your way through the stone door, like the kind of slight switchback from the doors slightly overlapping because of one being off hinges. And you find yourself in a large chamber that goes up through the central tower. Massive mural on the ground that depicts a very common geometric symbol that represents all 9 of the gods. Like each of their symbols merge together to form a central geometric structure. And then there are 9 pathways that are leading out of this central chamber off into the various other towers. Each of those towers a representation of one of the 9 gods. There's nothing as far as you can see in the terms of enemies here. There's the lava doesn't seem to be impacting this chamber of the temple much. It was overflowing on the outside, but it doesn't seem to be coming in here. There's just this what is left of what was once a pristine, beautiful temple to the gods who have all died.
I'd like to make an investigation check.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check. Any other checks from anybody as you're entering into the space?
I help Kamana.
Sure.
Mm,
Can I do a perception check to see if I can or survive? Well, I'd like to do survival to see if I can find any trace or tracks of the dragon.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make a survival check.
Krakoa will help Marlo with that.
You got advantage, Marlon.
Thank you.
I got a 16 on that investigation.
So come on with your
That's
16 on
going
your
right
investigation. What you do discover is that 8 of the 9 pathways out of this chamber are open to you. The 9th one seems to have been sealed, but what you notice about the seal is that it is not made of the same material as the rest of this temple. It is something that was constructed recently, and it has 3 sigil marks, not sigil marks, 3 like carvings into it that are open, and there's nothing present in them that are of these like 5-sided shapes. You think that they're probably like keyholes, but you're looking for a particular type of key in order to go into that space. And there's 3 of them.
With this 9th one that is closed off, is it Caiaphas's?
No, it's Bellinor's.
Okay.
Caiaphas's
The
is
gods.
Caiaphas's is on the opposite side of the chamber. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the
Bellinor
other
is God of Light.
the other 8 are
Yeah.
open to you. It's the central one at the back that is closed to you.
Okay.
I got
Is there a sigil in the middle of the
25
floor?
to find dragon.
So you don't get any sense of dragon in this chamber.
Sure.
What you do know enough about red dragons is they often like caverns, and so you get the sense that his chamber may be beneath this. Beneath this chamber, like that there must be
That's
something
likely.
below here that he's kind of living in.
Okay.
Mm,
Out of curiosity, and I'm trying to remember what is the name of the god that would correlate with the fire dragons here?
That would be Azalor. No, not Azalor. Sorry. Adronis.
Can we follow the Adronis path?
Yeah, you can. Rob, you had a question as well.
Is there a glowing sigil in the middle of this room?
There is not. So you
Okay.
in the terms of deciphering space, you imagine that the glowing rune is protected behind this protection
Locked
that
door.
was built by Ahriman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we have some explosives of some kind?
I think it has to do with these 3 keyholes. So I'm thinking this is probably a
but-
magical door, and we'll need the 3 keys to open it, would be my best guess.
You can make an
and
Arcana check,
my
Jerry, if you'd like.
Sure, I'll make an Arcana. Can I
But we
make
did
it
make
by
some-
religion? I'll make Arcana.
we
Okay. Well,
did make
okay.
some like blowy uppy.
You did?
I got a 19.
Yeah, Jerry, you're looking at this door. There's very clearly a arcane protection on this door. Abjuration, there's a shielded portion of this.
I share this with the class.
Yes.
Is there any like religious significance to the 3 keyholes, or are they just? Is it seeming 3 random keyholes?
Make just you can make a religion check, or you can make just an intelligence check. I will say that the religion check's DC is higher.
I'll make the
maybe
religion
like
check. I was gonna
3
make the religion check
generals or
anyway.
something.
I'll take a gamble. Religion is what was 16 plus 8.
24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
Jerry's good at
So
religion.
there's a religious. There's no religious significance to the placing of it. It's like they don't even align with any of the 3 chambers in this space.
Mhm.
But there is that there is religious significance to something in 3s, like the power of 3s. And so whatever the lock here is probably leading into that significance there. But just with a 24, like honoring that thing, is that there are 8 chambers available to you. You eliminate the reality that you have to go to a specific chamber. You just need to go to 3 of them.
Oh, okay. All right. That sounds great.
Josh, actually,
Okay.
can I reroute something really quick?
Yeah, sure, Marlo, go ahead. Yeah.
What is this building made out of?
So it's kind of made out of the same material. Like when you were in Azalor, everything was made out of that like white marble that just seemed to have sprouted from a solid piece.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh, that's exactly what I wanted you to say. Okay, can I dart out real quick while everybody's doing what they're doing? And I would like to write something not particularly nice, but particularly bold and big in paint on the wall.
On the outside of the wall.
Yes.
What would you like it to say?
Yeah, I would like to just say, I would like it to say, I would like to say, Terrell Denwalla, you know you're on the losing side. You know where to find us.
Okay, good. I'm going to make just a general check.
Okay.
Okay.
I asked you that there's this doorway, right?
Yes.
Is it like there's what we can see from the outside? Is there like tunnels coming off each doorway to an actual tower, or is the tower kind of built into the side of the central chamber?
So there's so you can't see on this one because it's behind a door, but on the other ones there's a small hallway, probably like 20-foot hallway that connects the main central chamber to the other tower that you can see on the other side. And so it's kind of like small spokes that connect the outer towers to the main central tower.
Okay, so much for that idea.
Okay. But you guys,
I remember from an episode of Burn Notice where there's a shielded door,
oh yeah,
and he just goes over to one side and blows a hole in the drywall.
that makes
Because
sense.
the door's sealed,
Yeah.
but the wall's not.
All right. But if you want to explore one of the chambers, you're more than welcome to. Marlo suggested going to Adronis's chamber first, just because Belphegor had chosen to make this his lair. But you guys can go where you
Do
like.
we want to try to fight the dragon here?
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's 2 dragons left. If we happen to get
Have to.
both, he's fucked.
I say we go for the dragons.
So I think in my brain, we get one here, and then we run to meet him. Hopefully we intercept it when he's got that dragon right there, and we end up fighting him and that dragon, but we target baby dragon.
And then we
And fuck
rescue
him over.
Saurus, and then he's got shit. Fuck all.
Yes.
That's what
And
that's
honestly,
what I'm
I would-
thinking here.
I agree with this
Yeah.
plan. I like it. Okay, so yeah, I'm fine
Yeah.
with that then.
I would rather kill his
I
corrupt
can't get to
dragons.
kill dragons, so I'm in.
Well, yes.
Awesome.
I would
I
rather
wanna
kill his
dragons.
corrupt dragons than risk, sinking this entire city and lose all of the knowledge and the history. So if we can kill the dragons, take away that energy from
Yeah.
his.
So we kick him off the Cloud City, basically, ideally. So
Sure.
he abandons and changes headquarters, goes somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm in.
The ideal outcome. Yes.
I'm in a
Wait
minute.
a minute. I
What?
just remembered someone who's supposed to be on this city, or at least the last time we saw them.
Who?
My arch nemesis, Yusuf Erfan. is so-
Wait, is Yusuf here?
Yeah,
We
because
have
he
so
went through
many
he went
nemesis.
through the portal. He went to the
Now,
Cloud
Mar,
City.
now, Mark, consider the city just starts falling with him on it. Incredible! What an incredible
No, it's
turn of
gotta, it's
events.
gotta be personal. That's too impersonal. He's gotta know.
Okay, we'll kill Yusuf as a little treat, but only if we see him on the way.
You gotta kill.
No.
You gotta fight him
I'm
and kill
not
him
gonna go
while
out
the
of my
city's
way.
falling.
I'm not
Yes.
out of my way, but if we see him, it's on fucking
I feel like this is a real conversation Jury and Mark had on the like.
I think you're all talking about this. Yeah.
Very happening. Pretend I was using my accent.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so you guys make your way towards the Adronis chamber. As soon as you cross over into the hallway that connects this main central chamber to Adronis's tower, you suddenly hear a voice, and it's ringing from a nondescript space within here. And you also notice that the pathway that connects the main chamber to the tower has been defaced in a way, that there are new carvings and not hieroglyphics, but new carvings and symbolism that's connecting these towers to one another. The first thing you notice is that all of them seem to be recreating in some way the divinity of Ahriman. And
God.
you hear the voice, and it is a voice that you've all heard before of Ahriman speaking. And he's saying, the god of war. What a pathetic use of your time to waste your energy and space on planning the petty squabbles between individuals of space and time. Much better to outplay your enemies, don't you think?
God, I hate him. He sucks.
Not this
So this is
man
like a live
pre-recording.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a-
Pre-recording. And then
Who the hell was
making his minions paint this thing. I'm sorry, the theatricality
And this is the man who wants to become a
here.
god. Yes.
No, it's embarrassing, but it's also a little bit like you got to respect the artistry,
The hustle. The hustle.
Yeah.
Very
The
camp.
hustle
Very
never
camp.
stops.
You've reached the Disney
he never,
Imagineers.
He never abandoned the aesthetic, and I do gotta respect him for that.
Yep. Abel, you immediately recognize that he is using a spell that your mother has used against you before, which is Magic Mouth, where he has recorded messages and left them for it to
Your
be
room is
heard
not
later on.
clean. You cannot leave until it's... Yes, yes.
Yep.
I've heard this plenty of times.
But you make your way through the short hallway, and here the imagery seems to be depicting like Ahriman in the aspect of someone prepared for battle. He's wearing not his typical robe, but like a battle regalia that a wizard would wear. You see him in his dragon form burning nondescript legions of demons and devils in the description and the design here. It's almost as if Ahriman is not only claiming his godhood as a god of magic, but just as the god that exists and therefore a god of all aspects.
Who is this for?
Dusting creature.
When you join the army, is this the propaganda museum that they make you walk through? Like, what is this?
Just a shrine to his own belief.
Saurus isn't here, but Saurus went to the temple in Feldspar, which had also been similarly defaced by the Scaled Fold, the group of people that were worshiping Ahriman already, even though he hadn't attained godhood.
He would have told us about that one night late on the ship as we were flying across.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have mentioned it to you. Yeah. But you all cross over through this short, like 20-foot hallway, and you enter into Adronis's chamber, which has been untouched. It hasn't been defaced in the same way. And here you see ancient gleaming sets of armor, beautiful swords. You see an ever-burning pillar of fire at the center, mimicking not only Adronis's allegiance to the realm of warfare, but also to fire. The mountain named after him being one of the largest volcanoes in Alyria. So you're in this chamber. It's probably 30 feet wide, circular in structure, and this pillar of fire kind of spouts up through the center and then disappears into like flaming a cloud that kind of drifts over the center portion of the tower about 50 feet above you. But then other than that, there's just metal gleaming floor, armor pieces, swords, and then that pillar of fire at the center.
A beautiful space.
Yep, go ahead and make an investigation check, Paula.
Can I get some help, please?
Oh yeah, Abel will assist you.
Thank you. That's so much better, thank you.
A very keen eye for this thing.
No, 20.
20. So you're looking around. None of the armor or weaponry here seems to be magical, and that's just because of the layers of dust and dirt and grime on them. They have been affected by the passage of time. The floor was probably once a beautiful bronze, but is now scuffed and damaged. It is only in passing, as you are walking around the chamber, that at the center of this pillar of fire, which is probably about 5 feet across, you see rotating at the center of it a gleaming piece of metal that is a five-sided piece that looks like it would fit into the hole.
Maybe what we need. Chamber. Okay. Should we cautiously approach the? Can I send a Nazi? Is it small enough that a Nazi would be able to grab it and fly away?
Yeah. It's probably like size of your fist, but it's a flat piece of metal. It's hard to tell. Like it's like you caught glimpses, like as the fire's spinning around it, you just caught glimpses of it through the flames. So it's hard to tell what it looks like, but it's about the size of your fist and is a flat piece of metal.
Okay. I'm using a charge from the stone that Marlo so graciously purchased for me that holds the spell slot energy. I'm going to have a Nazi cast invisibility.
Okay.
On himself.
Sure.
And then floating on his little flying web, fly himself over to it and see if he can retrieve.
So Anansi gets to the edge of...
retrieve the... Go ahead.
Well, from your perspective, you can't see what Anansi's doing, but he's telepathically communicating to you. He gets to the edge of the fire pillar. The coin is at the center of the pillar. The pillar is about... It's a 5 feet in diameter.
It's surrounded in fire.
Yeah. It's at the center of this pillar of fire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I completely misunderstood
okay. Yeah,
that.
that's fine.
I'm not going to send a Nazi into a wall of fire now.
Okay.
He doesn't have enough hit points to weather that storm. So, does anyone else have an idea of how we can retrieve this?
I will. Yeah, I'll let you take back the head spell.
How from the edge of the fire to the key? How far is that?
It's like 2.5 feet.
Can I use my sword and grab it?
Yeah, you can go ahead and attempt
hook
to.
it?
Yeah. So you stick the sword in the sword. It's probably a 2.5 foot blade or so. You go to hit it and hook it, and it's like when you hit the piece, it's almost like it's like locked in place and is just slowly rotating and spinning. The sword touching it doesn't seem to move it at all.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe a dispel or something?
Go ahead, Kakoa.
I'm going to try something.
Okay.
One of the Kakoa's channel divinities involves like doing the 15-foot diameter wave thing, and it lets him. So it's on the second page of my sheet on the left-hand side. As the descriptor. So he's going to basically try and extinguish the flame, or basically do a tidal wave that washes across, so he can extinguish the flame and ride the waves and grab it as he goes past.
Let me check if it extinguishes magical flames.
It may not, but there's a thing in it that because he can basically be moved inside of it, is that the thing is that maybe it will extinguish the flame, but keep him from catching on fire while he goes through it. So he may get burned and singed a little bit, but he's not going to
Well, yeah, I can switch the protection of fire onto you too.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't extinguish magical flame, but what I will let it do, if Kakoa wants to go through this, I will be very clear as a dungeon master, is that there is a component of going into the flame, and then there is a component of coming out of the flame. Using this ability will cut the first half of that out, and you'll only have the second half consequence.
Okay, now is the flame all around it, like in a circle? Or
yeah, it's like it's a circular pillar of fire that seems to be like blasting up from the center of the chamber.
Okay, I got this. Because he will use that to get in and grab it, and he has a pearl. He's got the pearl that lets him use his channel divinity a second time, and so he will then do the same thing to get out.
Okay, fantastic. So you all watch as Kakoa's like swings at the air and makes contact with the coin at the center of the fire, and suddenly this torrent of wave washes Kakoa into the fire, kind of swirling around him. There's immediately a burst of steam as this hot magical fire burns the water away at the same speed that it's coming through. Kakoa, you get your hand on the object, and then you cast this ability again. Both of your channel divinities are gone, and you find yourself kind of pulled out of it. But the coin itself is burning hot, and so you avoided 60-10 fire damage.
6.
Yeah, but you do take 14 fire damage as like the coin's heat is extinguished on you. And what you notice, Kakoa, is as you're looking down at your palm, is that there was some kind of icon or imagery on the coin that is now singed into your palm. And the coin itself dissolves and fades away into nothing.
Ooh.
But you now have this like recreation of the coin singed onto your palm. And it's an image of a dragon's head burning fire. Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look and see, does this have any religious meanings iconography?
You don't need to roll for it because you guys did such a good job of deciphering the chamber itself. This is the aspect of Ahriman, the bringer of flames.
You've been branded by Ahriman. This may be the plan to actually open the door. So before we heal you, let's see if we can use your branded hands to open the door. Is that okay?
You want me to stick my hand in the hole in the scary door?
Yep. That's exactly what we're asking you to do.
Right.
And two of us need to do it too. So I think I think three of us probably have to do that.
So you all go back to the main chamber.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kakao.
There are 3 slots, right? So we need.
There's 3 like if that coin still existed, it would slot perfectly into the space. But Kikoa holds his hand up to one of the slots, and you see the emblem on the hand begin to glow, and then the slot itself begins to glow, and you see the slot was nondescript. It takes on the same form as the brand. So where there was just a hole, there's now that symbol of Ahriman's head breathing fire. And instead of it being a stagnant brand, it is belching flame. It's like a GIF.
Oh, cool. So we need.
What was that, Rob?
Is the brand still on the Kakoa's hand, or did it transfer?
The brand is still on your hand, but it's almost like it immediately scarred over. So instead of being like a fresh burn, it's a burn scar.
Okay.
But you're branded now.
If he puts his other hand up to the other one, will it react?
No, nothing happens. It's just that first one.
Okay.
Does the brand seem magical in any kind of way, or is it just a brand?
It's magical, very similar in the same way that your brand is magical.
See, but I can track people through my brand, so I'm wondering if something
track
like
people
that.
through your brand?
Yeah. She was tracking Yorin for like ever.
You can still
I thought you said
person
trap,
you
like,
branded most recently was
tracking right now. Who the fuck was the last person I was
Dimwalla.
tracking? I'm gonna have to.
You know, you track through a brand. It's like
Where the fuck is Dimwalla at?
Dimwalla doesn't.
What cardinal direction?
Does like is to the. Where is it? To the northwest, which means off the island somewhere.
Oh, loser, idiot, clown.
Yeah. Teleported that far away?
Whatever.
Okay.
God, she sucks.
But you guys have unlocked one brand.
Can we go to the I'm just thinking with water I might have more of an advantage. Can we go to Souvenirs next is the one I would suggest?
Yeah. So you make your way.
Water, 3 out of 5 of us might have an advantage.
It's true. So you make your way towards the chamber where Souvenirs is. You pass through into the hallway, and the voice of Ahriman fills your ears again. And here you see, instead of Ahriman dressed in war regalia and burning legions of enemies with flame, you see here like a master of the elements summoning tidal waves and washing away the enemies before him. And you hear the voice, Souvenir always believed that water was simply to bring life into water crops, to spread his power across this realm. But the true scientist knows that water is the universal solvent. There's nothing that it cannot bring to ruin.
God, he thinks he sounds so cool. Yeah, he's like, wow, I
love as a DM that I wrote all of these
Joker
things,
monologues.
and then as a crew, you all think that they're shit.
It's because we hate him.
No, as the ticket takers.
Perfectly written for this character. I think absolutely this character would write this bullshit.
Yeah.
Someone wasn't loved enough by his mother. That's all I'm saying.
His mother was asleep, and he was locked away in the veil forever.
All right.
But you make your way into Suvenar's chamber, and this is a interesting chamber. It's very much like you are walking into a cavern, like an undersea cavern, or maybe a cave that has a water system moving through it. Like the walls here, you can still see elements of that white marble peeking through, but there's also live coral in corners. There is a dripping waterfall onto one side. And at the center of the chamber, there is a spiraling vortex of water that's curling up towards the ceiling. And it's kind of releasing up, and there's a slight drizzle and rain as the water hits about 50 feet up and then kind of drizzles and rains out down from there.
Kaimana is loving it.
And at the center of this, you can see there is a coin floating in the center of this terminal as well.
I will approach the coin.
We're at the Bellagio.
Okay, Kaimana, you approach the edge. Again, it's like a 5-foot like vortex of water with the coin at the center.
All right. I'm sure I've got a spell for this.
He approaches, then he's like, what should I do?
Draw water?
That's our Kaimana.
Okay, I can instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of water as I direct up to 5 feet in any direction.
Is this a cantrip?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you release the cantrip, and you have used this before to shape the movement of water. Kaimana has never experienced water fighting back. And you begin to kind of maneuver the water around where the coin is, and you all watch as the spiral of water moves where Kaimana wants it to, and then spirals out behind him, slams into Kaimana's back, and throws him into the vortex. Kaimana, you feel yourself getting pulled up into the vortex, suddenly 40, 50 feet into the air, and you are about to be launched out of the vortex to fall. You can, because you have a swim speed, you can try to fight against the current.
Yeah, I'd like to swim back.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check.
No, wait. I think he's cooking. I think he's got something. This is all part of his plan.
Mama, maybe you want to make you Jim.
He's fine.
He's falling into water. He's fine.
Yeah, I have Featherfall. Who cares?
I'm trying to see if I have anything that's like a special thing. Okay, basically I can't drown.
You can't drown, which is good, because if anybody who didn't, like if Marlo or Coco had gone in, they would also be in the same space. But the real danger here is you're basically being waterboarded, but you can breathe. So
I got a 5.
A 5. So Kaimana, you take 7 points of cold damage as the water is like freezing cold. But you are flung out of the top of the vortex, and you all watch as suddenly like you watch Kaimana get sucked up into the vortex and then just flung into space beyond it. And he's falling 50 feet in the air. Jury, if you want to use your reaction.
All right, I look at him and I Featherfall him.
Featherfall, you catch him. And then Kaimana, you're falling with the rain back down to the bottom. Mostly uninjured.
Thank you, Jury, then.
A little coated, like the tips of your fur coated with like frost. Mm-hmm.
I catch you with my hands.
I have an idea.
Let me try again.
What? No, but I have
It's like a roller coaster
not
ride.
your thing. No. Can I, Josh?
Yes.
Okay, so I have an ability from the Wave Dancer called Soul of the Waves, where I get water, 5 tendrils of water, and they can grapple creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that I could try to use this water to push aside the other water and leave it clear to grab the key.
Okay, so you go.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. So you go up to the space.
Okay.
This is an odd thing. I need Marlo to make a religion check.
Me?
Because I can't have you make a religion
Marlo, make a
saving
what?
throw. This is religion check.
25. I'm so religion.
Mar, you go up and you take out the blade. And in the way that the water was fighting Kaimana, you all watch as the moment the blade appears, that the vortex seems to slow a little bit. And it's almost like there's a face in the waves that is like looking at you, in that like a face in flame that's flickering and moving. But here it's like the wall of water. And then the moment you release the energy that summons those tendrils of water, they don't come out of the blade. The holy water that was placed here by Suvanar 275, 300, 1,000 years ago, it lashes out, wraps around the blade, and you all watch as instead of this torrent of water coming out of the ground, it is instead coming out of Marlowe's blade. And you move it to the side, and the emblem is there in front of you, Marlowe.
Yeah, I grab it.
You grab it. You avoided all of the bludgeoning damage, but you do take 10 points of cold damage as you feel the frost of this coin burning into your palm. And when you pull back, you see an image of Ahriman as a wizard with a tidal wave behind him.
Bitch.
And then you kind of release the sword, and the water returns to its spout, and it returns back to its ever-present spout.
Okay, let's not think about that. And I just start walking away.
I could have done that.
Buddy, you could have done that. I've got you like swaddled up.
Benefits of being the champion of
you know, Mar needed you to figure that out, buddy. You got it.
Mar wiping away a tear, but no tear.
No.
All right.
It's just the rain.
I'm just what
was that, Rob?
I'm just waiting for the Oompa Loompas to come out after Kaimana's thing.
Oh God.
Poor buddy. He tried his best.
It could have been worse. If anybody else had gone there, like water being forced into your mouth and nose would have been very bad.
Horrible.
For Jury and Abel.
Jury wasn't getting anywhere near the water. Don't worry. I'm the least aquatically inclined.
So you all make your way back to the main chamber. Marlo, do you activate the second rune?
Sure do.
All right. So you hold up your hand, and it's almost like you had like frostbite on your hand, but the moment you put it up, it fades, and unfortunately, you now have just a scar of Ahriman on you. Finding ways to.
Fine. Does it look like I could get a tattoo over it and like make it look like Nagin does?
Yeah, it'd be like the palm of your hand. That would be a fun tattoo spot for you, pain wise. But yeah, you could probably do it. But.
That than have Ahriman on my palm.
The addition of this, probably beyond anything else that Marlo notices and that all of you are realizing, is like not only has he defaced a temple of the Nine and is now creating himself as the aspect of all the gods, in order to get into this secret sanctum of this space, which only his enemies would want to do, you have to be branded by him.
He sucks. And I hate him.
He's so shit.
God, what a moron.
All right. But you've got, Can
I take out
go ahead.
just like my paint super fast and just draw Nagita over him on my palm so
Sure.
I don't have to look at him
Yes.
for a fucking second.
Yeah,
I think when we-
I'll take TK's hand too, and I'll change the drawing. No,
He said
I
yeah.
was gonna make it a clam. I was gonna make it a clam for you.
A clam breathing fire.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard.
I approve.
That's fire. Yeah.
That is amazing.
All right. So you have 6 chambers remaining.
Can we go down the Alysaur chamber?
Sure. You go to the Chamber of Wind.
Thank you. That's my god. Thank you.
All right. And as you pass through this chamber here, you see Ahriman in his dragon form, surrounded by a hurricane that's dropping tornadoes on the ground around him, and you hear the voice of Ahriman. Once the veil is wiped from this earth, all that know the power of Anavir and Alyria, it will be carried to the 4 corners of the world, and no longer will we just be a central place, but the wind will carry our story to all that may worship.
It was probably a great plan before there was a big mummy statue in the middle of that city. Fortunate for him. The real estate prices. We do know about the mummy at this point. He didn't know about it, but we know about the mummy at this point.
Yeah, we just don't know that Kaimana caused it.
No, but we know about it.
Blissfully unaware.
Yeah.
All right, but you get to the center of this chamber, and it is the only one that's slightly different than what you've seen so far, in that when you are trying to find the coin, it is up in the air about 50 feet. And there is a central like column of cloud that is creating a static energy in this space that you feel at any moment could release lightning or a static discharge in this space, as the wind is howling and the cloud is moving so quickly that it's like static electricity. And there's platforms on either side that go up towards it, but about 50 feet in the air, there is the coin spinning at the center of this like vortex of cloud.
Yeah, this one's for me, baby.
Okay. How do you want to approach it, Jerry?
I'm trying to figure out what I should do.
You want to borrow the jetpack?
That sounds scary, but I will borrow the jetpack.
That sounds scary.
I'll cast.
Take it all. Securely strap it to your back.
I'll cast. Give me the 5-minute tutorial on how this jetpack works, please.
This button is for left, and there's no parachute, so just
as long as I don't have to
pray.
kiss you when I use it. I like poke at you.
No.
I'll cast protection against lightning on myself.
Okay.
And then I will try to jetpack up into the sky.
Okay, so instead of using the platforms, you jetpack up.
Oh, they're platform.
They were platform, but it would have been athletics checks and to climb. So using the jetpack is good. You get up and you're eye level with it.
Krakoa is going to edge towards the door, so he's out of light strike range.
Cool. Okay, Krakoa moves towards the door. Everyone else is staying in the chamber. Cool. All right.
No, I'm going with Krakoa.
Okay. Abel moves to the chamber with the Krakoa.
I don't electrocute well.
And Jury, you get up eye level, and the clouds here are spinning and there's a vortex, but it doesn't seem to be as strong as it was at the base. But what is stronger is that feeling of potential energy.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm gonna take out. Let's see if I have some kind of little metal doodad, and I'm gonna chuck that away from me.
Okay.
In hopes that it targets that instead of me. I'll throw my little crowbar out.
Okay. You toss.
Watch out, everyone! I'm throwing a crowbar. Goodbye.
Okay. As you release the crowbar, it flies through the air. Do you go for the coin?
Yep, I'll go for the coin as I throw the crowbar.
So you go for the coin at that time. Really smart move to throw the crowbar. Because this chain lightning will view it as one of the potential targets. As you grab the coin, all of that potential energy releases, and you feel like a lightning searing energy burning into your palm that traces through your body and then releases out of your other hand, hits the crowbar, and then Kaimana. And
no, not Kaimana, not again.
And Marlo. As it traces down.
That's funny.
Out of the chamber. Krakoa and Abel out of distance.
We just kind of look at each other and don't say a word.
Abel, that crowbar was for you.
See?
Jury, with the resistance, you take 12 points of lightning damage.
Excellent.
Marlo and Abel and the crowbar take 24 points of lightning damage.
My crowbar.
Listen.
Not Abel.
Oh, not Abel, sorry.
What?
Kaimana. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to cast Absorb Elements.
Okay, you absorb. Go ahead and roll to see how much you absorb.
Hold on.
At
I think
level.
I can do something. Does this count as an attacker that I can see with an attack?
So technically, usually chain lightning would have a dexterity saving throw. So I will, at this moment, because you're a rogue, I will allow you to use uncanny dodge on it.
Thank you.
So you take 12 points of lightning damage. So you absorb 9, Kaimana. So that is, so you have a 13 points of lightning. 15. Yeah, 15 points of lightning damage to you, Kaimana. And you absorb the 9 that you can use later on. But
Josh, I am going to go ahead and chug a basic healing potion right now.
That's perfectly fine. But
we also have the dagger of healing.
Standing in the doorway.
So many potions. I have so many potions. I would say that. But thank you.
I have 12 uses of it, so no.
Never mind. Give me that fucking dagger. Jesus.
Yeah. It's 2 times my.
It's 2d8 plus. What's your
my intelligence, isn't it?
2d8 plus 6. Mm-hmm.
Jesus, that's yes, please.
Yeah, don't sleep on it.
He's finally got a buyer.
17.
Nice.
Right. You just like drag the dagger across your wound, and instead of hurting you, it heals you. And I mean, or whatever, however you want to flavor it. Doesn't have to be like weird, sadistic.
Jury, the symbol on your palm is like Ahriman standing with his hand to the sky and lightning just coursing out of the sky into his hand.
I go up to Mar with it.
You have to use it first.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it's gross right now.
It's a fresh burn right now.
Owie.
Yeah, no, you got to do this thing first. I can't.
Ew. It's so tacky.
I'm sorry. Think about what design you want. Or
okay.
I'll for you.
I'll let you pick. All right. I'll go up to the le door.
Okay. And you hold it up to the door. You feel the energy kind of pulling into the door. The door lights up with the rune. You guys did fire.
This
cold,
isn't as
wind.
fun as when we all got tattoos together.
Fire, cold, and lightning. And as it goes into place, it scars over. You just have the scar. Marlowe can paint it to look like something else.
So what is it? This is Ahriman with his.
He's holding his fist up, and there's like lightning coursing into his fist. Yeah.
Sorry. I can't think of anything except something wildly inappropriate right now. I would like to I'll make it I'll make
it a power cord.
It could be.
That could be jury doing
jury on jury's own palm.
That's the most jury thing I've ever seen.
Make Ahriman farting.
No.
I make it so Ahriman he's tripping over himself and farting.
we're like watching you do it, and we're like giggling as you draw. We're like middle schoolers.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, the door, as you're doing that, the runes activate on the door, and you hear the click as the door releases, and the lock is now open for you to pass into the final chamber.
Excellent.
Okay.
He's gonna be so pissed when he sees this. I've got like the drawing. Hey, look what I did, idiot.
Do you all pass through?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we think the dragon's in this part, or should we check and see if we see him in the other bits?
Well, he's under.
Right? We don't have time.
Like
he's.
You can see all the way up to the ceiling. Like these towers go all the way up. You feel like this is like there would not be a good space for
him to like roost somewhere.
There has to be some kind of cavern system or something.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, we go further in.
Okay. So you open the doorway, and this door is double door, probably a 5-foot door on both sides, these massive doors that swing inwards. And the moment the door swings in, the light spilling from the interior chamber, this is Bellinor's chamber, washes into you all, except instead of like the warm white light you would expect from whatever Bellinor's got going on, is just a wall of red and yellow, as you can see down this this wide hallway. behind you, there's just a wall of lava flowing down the back of this chamber and like disappearing into maybe grates or something at the back end. And as you approach, the walls, as far as you can see from ceiling to floor, there are rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of dragonid eggs. The hatchery being where it seems that Ahriman is doing the work of hatching and altering the draconids. And so this chamber is the most perverted of the halls. He's perverted Bellinor's chamber. At the back of this, against that lava wall, there is a long stone table with two chairs. It seems two chairs at the back of the chamber, because sitting in those chairs, you see the somewhat weird, from this distance, disfigured face of Yusef Arafan. And in the other chair, you see the oddly, weirdly disfigured face of one Lady Haverly.
Oh shit!
No way! Oh fuck!
Two ghosts from my past.
You're like 60 feet away from them, so it's hard to tell. But you recognize the face of Yusef. You recognize the face of Lady Haverly. But from this distance, it seems like they're sitting there, that they're weirdly disfigured, that there's something wrong with them. As you kind of are sitting here, you see there are three tubes kind of coming down out of the lava, like in front of the lava. And you see that all three of them are slowly filling up with energy. One is like a reddish energy, one is blue, and the other is a yellowish energy.
Based on what we picked. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yep.
Real glad we didn't go to Caiaphas's chamber now.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna let us do that. Don't worry. I had thought this might be a component.
Can I start approaching these two?
So
be careful.
It's difficult because like
cautiously.
they're backlit by the lava, so it's really hard to tell. But you can see their silhouettes. You can slightly see their faces. But when you get about 40 feet away or so, you realize that there's something odd, not about just their appearance, but that it seems as if they are not sitting in chairs, that they are that their torsos and upper bodies are above the table, but there's nothing there's not a chair underneath them. There's not, but you see Yusef's he looks up in your direction, and you just see one kind of slightly milky white eye, and then the other one bloodshot and the pupils large. Who goes to the chamber?
I'm sorry, what?
He said, who goes into the chamber?
I bet that was actually the Krakoa.
I'm going to start moving closer, but I won't say anything.
Okay. So as you move a little bit closer, you see Lady Haverly's look in your direction. And the same thing of her upper torso and body is above this table, but there's no chair, but it's that image of somebody sitting down. But you see next to her on her right hand side, you see the head of a lion peek up next to her and also look. And you see on the other side of her, you see the head of a draconid pop up and stare in your direction as well. And when she speaks, all three of their mouths move and speak at the same time. And it says, an unannounced visitor has come to the chamber. The menagerie shall deal with this.
If they make an aggressive move, I pull my fourth blister.
Okay. And
I don't
as
think it's going to be them.
you see her begin to move as if she's standing up, but as she rises, you get the reason why it was like she was sitting on a chair. Her upper torso and head and arms are connected to a much larger body. And that body rises up, and coming out of that body, you see the head of a lion. You see the head of a small dragon. Ahriman has punished her failures by turning her into the menagerie she always wanted to own. As she rises up. And to her right, you see Yusef Arifan kind of rising up, and he's this grotesque body form, this man who wanted to appear as almost like a king in his regal nature has been descended to this troll-like entity in his punishment for failures to Ahriman, as they both kind of rise up here into the space. You do not see a sigil in the space, but there is clearly a lower chamber below you. You said you were doing something if they looked aggressive, Abel. Do you intend to act before they do here?
If I was going to pull my Force Ballista if they make an aggressive move.
Okay, you summon your Force Ballista.
I mean, fuck it. I'm gonna aim right for Lady Haverly and just
go ahead and make your attack roll, because as you're doing that,
start a blast.
As you do that, Yusef leaps off of the space that he's in, and is about to land in the center of the chamber. Go ahead and make your fire off, Abel.
I'm doing that right now. That's going to be her attack, right? Bonus action.
Tosh, in the moment where he's starting to move, can I
it's a natural 20.
Ooh, go and roll damage.
32 to hit.
Hold. I'm looking for a specific thing. My character sheet. And I only have a million things to look at.
29 damage plus a D8 for that other thing that I have, the
firearm.
Arcane firearm, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was 36 damage.
Okay.
And I think that's all I can do for right now.
Mara, what were you doing?
So I have Eye for Detail, which is I can do perception checks or investigation checks as a bonus action.
Yes.
So while I was doing this, could I have also been scouting for the way to get down?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check. And I will let that resolve before his hulking mass lands.
Mm-hmm.
And where are these three?
What was that, Rob?
These three tubes that were coming in that were queuing up with energy. Where are they?
They seem to be feeding into the space where Lady Haverly was. It's all like
so at the center of the chamber.
As she stands up, it's like they're disconnecting from her back.
Ew.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you've all entered into the chamber. Yusef's hulking mass connects with the center of the chamber, and you hear a crack. Marlo, you see that at the back of the chamber where the lava's pouring in, that there's been a carved out section that's leading down to something below. And you see that with enough time to react to activate your boots, if you'd like to, as the floor falls out from underneath you.
Yes, please. I'd like to not do that, please.
I don't know. Did Abel get his jetpack back from Jury?
Yeah, I would have given it back.
So Abel, you can also activate your jetpack as well if you'd like.
Cool. Is there anyone near me that I can grab?
I mean, let's leave it up to a roll of the dice. Go ahead and roll a luck check.
Jesus Christ. Where's my
Can
dice?
I do the same, actually, to see if
go ahead and roll a luck
me?
check to see if anybody is close by. Mm-hmm.
I'll roll
Grab
it here.
Mother and come on up.
I got a 17.
Okay, so let's say it makes most sense that
Well-
Kaimana would be close to you, probably. coming into the chamber.
Okay, can I scoop Kaimana up and put him on my back?
Yep, you can. Abel, what's yours?
A 12.
Okay, so Jury would be close by. Now, because Jury, go ahead and make a athletics check, Abel.
I will drop Jury, you guys.
That's fine.
Oh, 19.
A 19.
Oh my god.
So you managed to hold on.
I'm to care for Jury so much. I just
so the only person here that falls is Kakoa. And I need Kakoa.
Kakoa basically dive and grab Mother and tuck so that when they fall, that he will take the brunt of the damage.
Yes, and I'll let you fall together instead of separately. Okay, so that's a 6.
Can I feather fall them with my reaction?
Absolutely, yes, you can.
Okay, I'll feather fall
so
them.
they don't fall and they don't take damage from the fall.
Because that's worth my reaction.
But
for sure.
what I will show you is
It's worth
what
the
you
spell
are
slot.
falling into. And while these...
wait, I gotta go back to my thing.
Oh, it's blurred. These minis don't... the one for Yusef captures him perfectly. I couldn't get a human with like a human chimera. So that's as the closest that I could. Okay.
Ooh.
So as the floor opens up beneath you and pieces of the temple crumble down, you can see that the sigil room is below you, that this is Belphegor's chamber. If Belphegor is present in the temple, he will be aware of your presence here. But where does Kakoa fell with Mother? And you rolled a 6. So Kakoa and Mother fall onto this platform over here. Now, because the others are flying, I will either let you continue to fly or you can choose where you would like to go in this space.
Kaimana, where would you like to be?
I think we should get over on the left to concentrate power.
So you want to be over here?
Yeah.
Okay. So still flying.
Could someone get a picture of this and put it in the chat?
I will take a
it's
picture.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
dope.
take a picture and send it to you.
You said if you could just
Marlo, if you want to like set Kaimana down, otherwise you don't have like action, you won't have actions until you do. You can go ahead and set him down now so you don't lose your first action of the combat.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you set Kaimana down, and then Marlo is flying up here as well, next to him. And then Juridan, where would you, Abel, where would you like to set
Abel
you
places.
and Juridan down?
I am thinking that I'm not going to be able to hold Jury up. If
Not for you'll have to make athletics checks every time, so you can set Jury down somewhere.
I assumed you would say something like that. So,
You are not a strong boy.
is there?
Set us
Not-
far from the action.
I'm a pretty boy, not a strong
here,
boy.
Please.
Far from the action.
Yes, put the gaze
All right.
far away, please.
No.
Hey.
Oh,
Would
okay,
that back
Mar,
right corner be too close
Right over here.
for you, Jury?
Mar, there are brawler gaze and there are ranged gaze. Be an able or ranged
We're the ranged
gaze.
gaze.
Do you want,
That's fair, that's
this?
fair.
You want this?
Yeah, actually,
here?
this is what I'll do. Yeah, if I can put Jury back there, is that okay, Jury?
Yes, please, far away from everything,
And
please.
can I stay in the air?
Yep.
So I don't want us to get like,
Concentrated on one spot.
yeah. So you no, a little further between Marlo and the Krakoa and Mom.
That would be like right here.
I don't want a cone to hit us. Do you see like the little archway that you have in the lava?
This one.
Yeah, but kind of right there,
Okay.
to where we're less likely to be hit by like a
So
cone
you
or
drop
something.
Jury off and then kind of swing over here. Yusef slams down on the platform over here. He's the large, purpley looking guy. And then at the back of the chamber, the menagerie, Lady Haverly, slams down back there. Their large, grotesque forms taking up the space. So the last thing we'll do before next week is we will roll initiative.
Yeah.
Josh, I had a bonus action to fire. Can I use an action in that early move that I made, or
To do what?
Is that too much?
To do what?
Can I cast? Oh man!
Doesn't
no.
it take a spell to bring up the? Doesn't it take an action to summon? The,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Okay, never mind.
Hey, Abe, what is that die that I roll for the?
It'll
that you
be,
do?
and I did
A
cast
D8.
it on you.
So it's a D8.
I believe it's a D8. So just
Okay.
remember that as we go upon.
Is that a 15?
Yes, I remember. That's why I asked.
Yep, I always cast it on you. Yes, it is a D8.
All right, 25 to 20.
I didn't roll. Hold on.
Let's see.
Oh my
Did you roll
god,
for me,
no!
Oh, yeah, I've got you.
I rolled too good. Fuck my life.
That is a 12 for Cocoa. Mm-hmm.
I got a 21.
21. Okay.
I got a 19.
Oh no. Okay.
Fuck.
All right.
I got a 16.
All right. 19 to 15. So Abel.
16.
Okay. And then what did you get, Kaimana?
I got a 7.
Okay, Kakoa and then Kaimana bringing up the rear. Oh, Mother. Yep. Nope, Mother bringing up the rear. That's a natural one, but that's where you want your cleric, so that's good. But I will send you a detailed picture of your location so you can kind of see and get a sense of the space. Like all of this, like that wall of lava at the back is washing here like a river underneath you for Belphegor's lair. And the sigil is, of course, back there where the menagerie is.
So cool.
That's good to know.
Holy shit.
It's going to be a
cool
race
map,
against
Josh.
time, isn't it? To see if we can take them out before
He
the
comes
dragon
back.
shows up. Oh.
You also get
I
a
just
sense that all of you who are in the chamber get a sense that the floor above crashing down has disrupted what was already, because of the lava, a tenuous relationship with stability for a lot of this area of the temple.
Tenuous relationship with stability.
Lava.
That sounds like my mental health. Sorry.
A tenuous relationship with stability.
Oh, amazing. Tenuous stability. There's the episode name.
There you go.
I just have nightmares of the dragon rising out of the lava at the end of this. It's like, we beat them! Yay!
Oh gosh.
I'm scared they're going to overlap, and that's going to fuck us.
Well, Belphegor is
Oh.
not dead, otherwise the lava would have stopped flowing. But whether he's being in the process of being
know.
sacrificed or not, that is yet to be seen.
Really don't want to find out.
And being sacrificed, he's like, oh my god, he's breaking into my room right now.
Are they like,
Can we
they're here to
pause? Let me go
save me,
check
and we're like,
something. Yeah, not exactly.
All right, good night, y'all.
All right, night, everybody.
Bye.
See you next week.
Good
Happy
night.
birthday,
Ronnie.
Happy birthday, Ronnie.
Happy birthday!
Oh,
Adore you.
appreciate you.
18!
Yeah, 18.